Welcome to Shae's Pep Talk Rally Show, where we dive deep into the truth of our stories, exploring trauma, trials, testimonies, triggers, and everything in between. This is a real space for real conversations about life's challenges, where we intentionally seek new perspectives and better balance. Here, we actually pour into each other's cups so that no one walks around empty. They say hurt people. And I believe healed people should help people. So together, let's do just that. Today's episode is the power of self-talk and its role in shaping our mindset and ultimately our lives. Now, self-talk is that inner dialogue that we have within ourselves, and it can either build us up or tear us down. Self-talk is something that we all do, but most of us don't even realize how impactful it is in our lives. The words that we actually tell ourselves or feed ourselves, it creates that mindset that we live with each and every single day. Whether it's positive or negative, self-talk is the foundation of our mental well-being. So I'll share a personal story with you because I remember a time when I kept telling myself I wasn't ready to take on the next step within my career. And every time an opportunity would come up, that inner dialogue that I was having with myself sounded something like this. You're not qualified enough. You're not ready. And that held me back for so long. Other supervisors and managers could see deeper and more leadership things within me, but I couldn't even see it within myself. And they would encourage me to apply, and I would get the gig, and I would actually excel at it. And this happened a few times before, guess what? Seasons change. And there came a time when there was no one else there to push me but me. So I had to make a choice. And once I recognized that critic was happening, that critic was me. And I started speaking positive, empowering words to myself, pouring that into me, speaking it over me, and my confidence grew. And I started embracing those opportunities with open arms. Now I'm in a position where I want to be, but know that I wouldn't be here if I had not began changing the way that I believe, which actually translated into how I behave. And I always tell people this, we behave the way we believe. So if you don't believe that you can have it, you don't believe that you're enough, we can't really expect anybody else to believe or pour into us. Sometimes you will get blessed enough to be in a season where people will pour into you and they will speak life into you. And they may say something that plants that seed within you that pushes you. But what happens when the next season it's up to you to nurture that? Right? And when we don't recognize it, we struggle with that. And those are the type of things that can hold us back. Negative self-talk, some examples of those kind of phrases would sound like, I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. I'll always mess things up. These thoughts are very destructive and they reduce productivity, our self-esteem, and overall mental health. Nothing good really is birthed from that place. Positive self-talk sounds a little bit like this. I can do this. Or maybe it's, I have what it takes. And even if you're not there yet, positioning it such as I'm growing and learning. But that positive self-talk actually builds up that resilience and it improves our confidence and drives better performance. So when we engage in negative self-talk, it basically affects not only our mindset, but also our actions. And remember earlier, I said we behave the way that we believe. Right? So we start to believe those limiting statements, and that limits what we're actually willing to even try or consider. And so then we don't achieve anything else, anything extra outside of it. So on the flip side, though, positive self-talk actually encourages us to take those risks, face those challenges, and believe in ourselves, ultimately leading to better outcomes. So I want to leave you with like 3 practical tips for turning negative self-talk into self-empowerment on today. The things that work for me is what I'm sharing with you. And so 1, catch the critic, right? Recognize when your inner dialogue is turning negative, when it's turning you around in the wrong direction, right? That's number 1. So an example of this would be the first step is always awareness. And anything for us to do better or change, we have to notice when we say things to ourselves like, I'm always messing things up. I can't handle this. But when you catch yourself, you can actually start to shift it because you're aware. right? If you're not aware, then you're never able to change that. So catch the critic. Second one, reframe the thought. So start swapping those limiting phrases like I can't, or I'll try, or I can learn. An example of reframing that thought, instead of saying, I've never done this before, so I can't, try reframing it as like, I've never done this before, but I'm ready to learn, right? You're not ignoring the challenge that comes with trying something new or taking the risk, but you're opening yourself up to the possibility. That's important. And the third thing is affirm and empower. You want to use positive affirmations that align with your goals. So when you use statements like, I am capable, I am resilient, and I have what it takes, repeat those affirmations every single day until they become a part of your core beliefs. I remember having to wake up sometimes, walking over to my mirror and looking at myself saying, you got this. Even on days that I didn't feel like I had it, sometimes I had to say those things with tears in my eyes. Sometimes I said those things and tears was rolling down my face. My voice was cracking, but I still looked myself in that mirror and I said it until I started to believe, so much so that I started to behave the way I believe. And ultimately, my life changed. So that's a big part of my why and why I want to help you today, because this is a big part of what changed my life. And the challenge that I want to put before you this week is I want you to focus on one specific area of your life where negative self-talk has held you back, whether that's at work, in your relationships, or with your self-esteem, right? I want you to commit to flipping that inner dialogue. I want you to consciously be intentional about replacing any negative self-talk with positive, empowering thoughts. Track your progress and see how it impacts your mood, your decisions, your energy, and ultimately how you behave. So I'd love to hear your progress, and I want you to share your experience on social media using the hashtag Pep Talk with Shae. Okay? PEP Talk with Shae. And in my closing thoughts on today, I want you to remember that every thought you think has the power to shape your future. So understanding this, whether you're building yourself up or holding yourself back, that choice is always yours. And that's rough. It's hard to process and take in, but it's the truth. Okay. So I want to encourage you to speak life into your journey, embrace your growth, and stay committed to becoming the best version of yourself. It's so worth it at the end of it all. And I'm telling you these things from experience. As you move forward, remember this: you are capable, you are resilient, and you are more than enough. You have what it takes. Keep speaking life into your dreams, your challenges, and your everyday life. Until next time, keep those affirmations flowing, and remember, you hold the power to change your inner dialogue. Don't stop, don't settle, keep stepping.